pressed inside a weathered book. My name was written in blue ink, with careful letters slightly crooked. The date had faded into paper, the corners carried years of dust. Yet turning one forgotten page brought every shelf back into focus. That little room smelled warm in winter. Wooden tables caught the light. The lady at the front desk always saved my favorite books aside. She never asked how life was going. She simply smiled and stamped the page. Some kindness asks for nothing more than making someone want to stay. I borrowed stories every Friday, carried them all the way back home, never knowing every chapter quietly was shaping my own. Some doors are made of paper, some journeys start with turning pages. Long before we understand how far a single story takes us. The shelves have all been rearranged. New faces softly fill the room. Yet sunlight falls across the tables exactly like it used to do. I slipped the card back in the novel, closed the cover with a smile, then walked outside beneath the trees where summer waited all the while. The book stayed on the wooden table. Morning drifted through the glass. Someone else reached for the same story, and another journey quietly began. She missed the last bus home one Friday. Streetlights painted circles on the rain. The station master closed the waiting room and wished her luck before he walked away. A bakery across the narrow road still carried bread that hadn't found a home. The woman wrapped a loaf in paper, smiled and said, "Take this, don't walk alone." They never spoke about tomorrow, never asked each other's names. One offered bread, one offered kindness, then both returned to ordinary days. Years kept rolling through the seasons. Cities changed and people moved, yet warm bread and falling rain always always brought that evening into view. Some hearts arrive without a warning, stay a moment, then are gone. Nothing asked to last forever, nothing asked to be held on. One quiet act beneath the streetlights stayed much longer than the night. Long after buses stopped running, that kindness kept its light. She never found that little bakery. The windows wore another name, the scent of fresh bread on a rainy evening always carried back the same. Some stories never ask for endings, they simply drift from day to day. A loaf of bread, a smile, a stranger. Then life went on its way. A green glass marble rolled across the wooden floor, chasing afternoon sunlight through the open door. You laughed before it disappeared beneath the shelf, certain we'd find it before anybody else. The room grew quiet long before we even knew. Childhood has a funny way of slipping out of you. One tiny circle made of green and polished stone vanished without telling us how quickly we'd be grown. That little marble kept on waiting where the years went by, holding one forgotten summer underneath the light. Long after all the boxes found another place to stay, it quietly remembered what we slowly gave away. Moving out, I pulled the old bookshelf aside. There it was, exactly where the sunlight used to hide. You smiled across the room before you picked it up. Nothing had to be explained between the two of us. morning settled on the hillside, wildflowers dancing near the lane. A folded letter filled my pocket, carrying more than ink and names. Painted wood and faded red caught the glow beneath the sun. Hands were steady, heart was smiling. Summer had already won. Letters travel farther than footsteps ever do, across the fields and open skies, straight towards someone new. Blue above the valley, warmth upon the breeze. Hope can write a paper weave through rows of maple trees. Dust rose softly from the pathway. Children filled the air with song. Golden hours kept unfolding, turning passing days into home. Paper found the mailbox, dreams were carried with its flight. Long before the stars appeared, the world already felt so bright. Far beyond the winding road, beyond the distant blue, summer kept a place alive for hearts that always knew. I folded one more little letter with words I almost kept inside. The summer wind was softly waiting, so I let my heart decide. A little red box by the roadside held tomorrow in its hands. Some hopes are meant for open skies, not hidden in a drawer again. I finally sent the words I'd carried for so long. Maybe they will find you, maybe they belong. Like birds across the blue, like sunlight after rain. Some letters never lose their way, even years away. Not every answer comes tomorrow, not every road is clear. Sometimes all we really need is the courage to appear. Story floating on the summer breeze. Whatever waits beyond today, I'll let tomorrow read. If my little letter never reaches where you are, at least the sky will always know how brave my heart became. I met my teacher in a little bookstore on an ordinary rainy afternoon. She smiled and asked me where I came from while searching for a novel on the shelf. I told her my name with quiet laughter. She paused as though the answer might appear, then softly said, "I'm sorry, dear. The years have blurred so many faces. I thought I'd feel a trace of sadness. Instead, a gentle smile found me. You spent your life remembering children, while I remembered only you. One classroom held my whole beginning. For you it was another autumn day, another row of hopeful faces, another bell that rang at 3. You didn't know my story, you didn't know my name. It's something in your kindness had never really changed. The voice that taught me courage was standing there once more. Even without remembering, you gave me one more lesson. The rain had almost ended. People hurried down the street. You waved before you left. A stranger wearing someone I once knew. I watched you cross the crossing until the crowd became the day, then carried home a lighter heart than the one I brought away. Some meetings ask for nothing, they simply leave a smile. That was more than enough for one rainy afternoon. high above the kitchen shelf. Sunday sunlight filled the hallway while the melody played by itself. I would wind the tiny handle just to hear those silver chimes. Certain songs could stay forever, long before I measured time. Years collected on the windows, children slowly moved away. The house grew smaller every winter. Silence learned our family name. While I packed the empty cupboards, one familiar tune appeared, floating through the afternoon like nobody had left. That old music box kept turning with the same unhurried song, bringing back 1,000 moments without asking where they'd gone. Nothing in the room was different, nothing looked the way before, yet the melody knew every corner of the house I once called home. Dust was dancing in the sunlight. The kettle sang across the stove. One small tune filled every doorway. Long after the voices slowed, that old music box kept turning, soft enough to calm the room. Outside, evening touched the garden, shadows stretched across the floor. I placed it gently in a carton, closed the lid without a sound, then carried one familiar melody into another home. The front door closed behind me, and somewhere in the evening, the song was still playing. When I was young, I held a little eraser, certain it could make every wrong thing right. Every tiny mark would simply disappear, leaving only clean white lines. If life came with an eraser, would we wipe yesterday away, or keep the little scratches that quietly taught our hearts to stay? Maybe every faded pencil line, every page that's worn and torn, is only proof that we kept writing even after hope was gone. If every tear were missing, would every smile feel the same? If every goodbye vanished, would I remember every name? took my story, it gently shaped it line by line. Now every mark I carry feels a little less like pain, because the pages that are imperfect are the ones I read again. There is an empty picture frame standing quietly on my shelf. It doesn't hold a photograph, yet somehow it still holds my heart. Every day the light moves through, painting colors on the glass. I smile because it seems to know some moments never really leave. Maybe love is not a picture, maybe love is not a place. Maybe it is every little feeling time could never quite erase. Every empty frame reminds me something beautiful was there. Even when the walls grow silent, love is still hanging in the Not every story needs a photograph. Not every memory needs a name. Some are only quiet echoes, softly calling us again. Now I leave the frame untouched, just the way it's always been, because the things we cannot capture sometimes shine the brightest still. Every empty frame reminds me nothing precious disappears. It simply finds another way to stay with us through all the years. Kettle softly starts to sing. Morning gathers by the door. Sunlight dances on the table, like it always did before. I pour another cup of tea, watching little circles fade. Funny how the smallest moments become the ones that always stay. One more cup of tea together, one more quiet afternoon. Nothing grand to write about, just the ordinary truth. Life is made of little moments, simple words and gentle smiles. Looking back, they shine much brighter than the big favorite songs. Time was quietly listening as our hearts were humming along. One more cup of tea together, even if you're far away. Every morning sunlight finds me, bringing back your gentle grace. If tomorrow looks uncertain, I will still believe it's true. Home is never just a place. Sometimes home is sharing tea with you. I found an old library card pressed inside a weathered book. My name was written in blue ink, with careful letters slightly crooked. The date had faded into paper, the corners carried years of dust. Yet turning one forgotten page brought every shelf back into focus. That little room smelled warm in winter. Wooden tables caught the light. The lady at the front desk always saved my favorite books aside. She never asked how life was going. She simply smiled and stamped the page. Some kindness asks for nothing more than making someone want to stay. I borrowed stories every Friday, carried them all the way back home, never knowing every chapter quietly was shaping my own. Some doors are made of paper, some journeys start with turning pages. Long before we understand how far a single story takes us. The shelves have all been rearranged. New faces softly fill the room. Yet sunlight falls across the tables exactly like it used to do. I slipped the card back in the novel, closed the cover with a smile, then walked outside beneath the trees where summer waited all the while. The book stayed on the wooden table. Morning drifted through the glass. Someone else reached for the same story, and another journey quietly began. She missed the last bus home one Friday. Streetlights painted circles on the rain. The station master closed the waiting room and wished her luck before he walked away. A bakery across the narrow road still carried bread that hadn't found a home. The woman wrapped a loaf in paper, smiled and said, "Take this, don't walk alone." They never spoke about tomorrow, never asked each other's names. One offered bread, one offered kindness, then both returned to ordinary days. Years kept rolling through the seasons. Cities changed and people moved, yet warm bread and falling rain always brought that evening into view. Some hearts arrive without a warning, stay a moment, then are gone. Nothing asked to last forever, nothing asked to be held on. One quiet act beneath the streetlights stayed much longer than the night. Long after buses stopped running, that kindness kept its light. She never found that little bakery. The windows wore another name, the scent of fresh bread on a rainy evening always carried back the same. Some stories never ask for endings, they simply drift from day to day. A loaf of bread, a smile, a stranger, then life went on its way. A green glass marble rolled across the wooden floor, chasing afternoon sunlight through the open door. You laughed before it disappeared beneath the shelf, certain we'd find it before anybody else. The room grew quiet long before we even knew. Childhood has a funny way of slipping out of you. One tiny circle made of green and polished stone vanished without telling us how quickly we'd be grown. That little marble kept on waiting where the years went by, holding one forgotten summer underneath the light. Long after all the boxes found another place to stay, it quietly remembered what we slowly gave away. There it was exactly where the sunlight used to hide. You smiled across the room before you picked it up. Nothing had to be explained between the two of us. Marble resting softly in your hand carried every silent year without a single plan. Some things never call our names or ask us not to leave. They simply wait until our hearts are ready to believe. One small marble, one whole lifetime. Settled on the hillside, wildflowers dancing near the lane. A folded letter filled my pocket, carrying more than ink and names. Painted wood and faded red caught the glow beneath the sun. Hands were steady, heart was smiling. Summer had already won. Letters travel farther than footsteps ever do, across the fields and open skies, straight toward someone new. Blue above the valley, warmth upon the breeze. Hope can ride a paper wing through rows of maple trees. Dust rose softly from the pathway. Children filled the air with song. Golden hours kept unfolding, turning passing days into home. Paper found the mailbox, dreams were carried with its flight. Long before the stars appeared, the world already felt so bright. Far beyond the winding road, beyond the distant blue, summer kept a place alive for hearts that always knew. kept inside. The summer wind was softly waiting, so I let my heart decide. A little red box by the roadside held tomorrow in its hands. Some hopes are meant for open skies, not hidden in a drawer again. I finally sent the words I'd carried for so long. Maybe they will find you, maybe they belong, like birds across the blue, like sunlight after rain. Some letters never lose their way, even years away. Not every answer comes tomorrow, not every road is clear. Sometimes all we really need is the courage to appear. Story floating on the summer breeze. Whatever waits beyond today, I'll let tomorrow read. If my little letter never reaches where you are, at least the sky will always know how brave my heart became. I met my teacher in a little bookstore on an ordinary rainy afternoon. She smiled and asked me where I came from while searching for a novel on the shelf. I told her my name with quiet laughter. She paused as though the answer might appear, then softly said, "I'm sorry, dear. The years have blurred so many faces. I thought I'd feel a trace of sadness. Instead, a gentle smile found me. You spent your life remembering children, while I remembered only you. One classroom held my whole beginning. For you it was another autumn day, another row of hopeful faces, another bell that rang at 3. It's something in your kindness had never really changed. The voice that taught me courage was standing there once more. Even without remembering, you gave me one more lesson. The rain had almost ended. People hurried down the street. You waved before you left. A stranger wearing someone I once knew. I watched you cross the crossing until the crowd became the day, then carried home a lighter heart than the one I brought away. Some meetings ask for nothing, they simply leave a smile. That was more than enough for one rainy afternoon. Mother kept a little music box high above the kitchen shelf. Sunday sunlight filled the hallway while the melody played by itself. I would wind the tiny handle just to hear those silver chimes. Certain songs could stay forever, long before I measured time. Years collected on the windows, children slowly moved away. The house grew smaller every winter. Silence learned our family name. While I packed the empty cupboards, one familiar tune appeared, floating through the afternoon like nobody had left. That old music box kept turning with the same unhurried song, bringing back 1,000 moments without asking where they'd gone. Nothing in the room was different, nothing looked the way before, yet the melody knew every corner of the house I once called home. Dust was dancing in the sunlight. The kettle sang across the stove. One small tune filled every doorway. Long after the voices slowed, that old music box kept turning, soft enough to calm the room. Outside, evening touched the garden, shadows stretched across the floor. I placed it gently in a carton, closed the lid without a sound, then carried one familiar melody into another home. The front door closed behind me, and somewhere in the evening was young, I held a little eraser, certain it could make every wrong thing right. Every tiny mark would simply disappear, leaving only clean white lines. If life came with an eraser, would we wipe yesterday away, or keep the little scratches that quietly taught our hearts to stay? Maybe every faded pencil line, every page that's worn and torn, is only proof that we kept writing even after hope was gone. If every tear were missing, would every smile feel the same? If every goodbye vanished, would I remember every name? Life came with an eraser, just not the one I dreamed about. It never took my story, it gently shaped it line by line. Now every mark I carry feels a little less like pain, because the pages that are imperfect are the ones I read again. There is an empty picture frame standing quietly on my shelf. It doesn't hold a photograph, yet somehow it still holds my heart. Every day the light moves through, painting colors on the glass. I smile because it seems to know some moments never really leave. Maybe love is not a picture, maybe love is not a place. Maybe it is every little feeling time could never quite erase. Every empty frame reminds me something beautiful was there. Even when the walls grow silent, love is still hanging in the Not every story needs a photograph. Not every memory needs a name. Some are only quiet echoes, softly calling us again. Now I leave the frame untouched, just the way it's always been, because the things we cannot capture sometimes shine the brightest still. Every empty frame reminds me nothing precious disappears. It simply finds another way to stay with us through all the years. kettle softly starts to sing. Morning gathers by the door. Sunlight dances on the table like it always did before. I pour another cup of tea, watching little circles fade. Funny how the smallest moments become the ones that always stay. One more cup of tea together, one more quiet afternoon. Nothing grand to write about, just the ordinary truth. Life is made of little moments, simple words and gentle smiles. Looking back, they shine much brighter than the biggest dreams we chased. We never knew those peaceful days would become our favorite songs. Time was quietly listening as our hearts were humming along. One more cup of tea together, even if you're far away. Every morning sunlight finds me, bringing back your gentle grace. If tomorrow looks uncertain, I will still believe it's true. Home is never just